Joey the queen, ain't no keeping it realer. My stomach stay lean, but that booty be thicker. I'm cuffed with my hubby and snuffing your hitter. My pen is the clip and my finger the trigger. Megan the Stallion and Joey the Panther. I stand on the front lines, I'm holding the banners. I'm pressing the buttons and turning the channels to reset the system to challenge my grammar. Stage show mean, keep the crowd higher than the weed. Got Kendro heading up the team. Pro-black, but I'm still about the cream.
What's up, fam? What's going on, baby gorgeous gang? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? This is an emergency meeting that I want to have because I have suddenly just had an epiphany and a stream of consciousness that I want to talk to you guys about. And, you know, this is before I get started with Pepper LaBeijah's birthday and all of that stuff. But I wanted to just hop on live because I have a couple of times that I'm going live today. I'm doing Pepper LaBeijah's birthday party later, Pepper LaBeijah's birthday ball, rather, where I'm going to be celebrating the life of Pepper LaBeijah. Today is her 73rd birthday, and I'm going to be talking about the movie Paris is Burning as well, right? Now, also, I'm going to be talking about social media later on this evening, and I want to talk about whether social media is having a positive or negative effect on our society. And I want to talk about exactly how and why I feel that way and the things that have drawn me to question whether social media is having an overall positive or negative influence on our life. But I wanted to come on here just real quick and talk to y'all because I'm awake now. Okay? And I changed my damn mind. Okay? I changed my damn mind. I am going to stand on what I said. And if I'm going to talk about the issues and talk about the things that need to be talked about in our society and as a whole, then me talking about Real Housewives has to be a part of that. But you know what? Morning, Miss McCod. How are you, baby love? What's going on, baby gorgeous? If I'm going to talk about Real Housewives, then damn it, I'm going to do it in my way. Okay? And I'm going to be talking about Real Housewives in the way that it needs to be talked about. I'm going to have the conversations that none of you want to have. I'm going to have the conversations that need to be had that are necessary when we're talking about the Housewives. Is the drama and the tea and the shade fun? Absolutely. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's not. I'm not going to sit here and say that it doesn't need to be talked about. It does. It's fun to talk about the shade and the bullshit and da-da-da-da-da and all of that. It is. But there are so many more necessary conversations that need to be had that are not being had, and I'm tired of it. We're going to talk about race. We're going to talk about colorism. We're going to talk about human rights. We're going to talk about homophobia. We're going to talk about transphobia. We're going to talk about everything that y'all don't want to talk about on any other time. Right? On any other franchise, on any other time, y'all don't ever want to talk about these situations. Well, guess what? Damn it, somebody has to talk about it. And I'm the bitch for it. Okay? Because listen, here's how I feel. I feel like this. Somebody has to do it. Somebody has to be the person who has to step up and say what nobody's going to talk about. And for a while, I was that person. And I want to be the nice girl, right? I want to be the person who wants to come in and make everybody feel good and make everybody feel loved and heard and, make everybody feel like everybody's opinion matters, right? And it does. Everybody's opinion does, but that means everybody's opinion has to be heard. So, me not giving my opinion on the bullshit that is plaguing these Housewives franchises, oh yeah, that's gonna stop today. That's gonna stop all that. It's gonna stop today. Tell them. Because I don't got time for that. No. This is what I'm supposed to be here for. Am I gonna talk about mental health? Yes. Am I gonna talk about relationships and love and money and all of the issues that people go through and the ways that we relate to each other as a society outside of a reality TV format? You're damn tootin'. But however, I came into this platform talking about Housewives, and I'll be damned if I'm gonna stop talking about it just because other people don't want to hear my opinion. That is completely contrarian to my mission statement. That is completely contrarian to my mission statement. And I would be an ass and a coward to back out of talking about an entire franchise just because some people don't want to hear me talk about the issues. Girl, I would be doing a disservice. I would be doing a disservice to the community. I would be doing a disservice to the platform to walk away from talking about the issues within one of the biggest franchises in television. So you know what? I'm getting ready to piss a lot of people off. And you know what? That's fine. Somebody's got to be the villain. Somebody's got to be mad. Somebody's got to be the one that everybody want to come at. That's fine. Like I always said, if you want to show me love, hit me on Instagram. If you want to get the smoke, hit me on Twitter. But you can find me both at Justifiably Jordan. You see it ticking at the bottom of your screen right now. Okay? But I am not going to run away from what needs to be said at the end of the day. And you know what? Sometimes you have to say what everybody doesn't want to hear, and it makes you look like the not nice person or the villain or the person who's contrarian or the person who brings the mood down, Debbie Downer, whatever. Blah, 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 blah. Bitch, I don't care. I don't care. We need to talk about racism. I'm not going to sit here and not have a conversation about what needs to be said and still watch the shows, right? Because that would make me look like a fucking hypocrite. And I feel gross doing that. I would feel gross going on Twitter and talking about Giselle getting read the fuck down by Karen in season 2. No, Ashley being read the fuck down by Karen, because this is what just cued this live. Let me go back just a second. What cued me to get on live just now was I was on Twitter and I was looking at a video of Karen and Ashley going back and forth in like season 1 or 2, right? And Karen read the entire fuck out of Ashley, right? I mean, read the entire dog shit out of her. But I understood why she read her, because Karen felt like Ashley was talking about her child, right? And I don't know. The reason why I say felt like is because I don't exactly know the entire conversation. So I'm not going to defend or dismiss anybody's opinion. All I'm saying is, Karen, that's how Karen felt. So she went the fuck in. Now, if Ashley was talking about her kid, then you read the fuck out of that bitch for talking about your cubs. Period. I'm all for the mama lion shit, right? But my first comment wasn't even that. My first reaction to this video was, damn, Ashley's forehead has been huge as fuck though. Like, two things can be true at the same time, people. Two things can be true at the same time. Like, can I be a shady bitch and can we point out the obvious of the bullshit? Yes, but at the same time, we also need to be having the other conversations. We also need to be talking about the fact that a bitch should not be talking about nobody else's children. We shouldn't be talking about the fact that, like, we should be talking about the fact that I just saw a poll on Twitter that I'm going to post a link to in my description box that basically said that we need to keep all of the light-skinned housewives, get rid of all the dark-skinned housewives, bring back one dark-skinned housewives, and then keep away the other two that were just that were just problematic anyway. So right after I watched that video, I scroll down and I see a tweet basically saying that there was a poll that was put out, and I'm not gonna say whose poll it is because I don't actually have all of that information. I didn't even look at it. I just looked at the poll, but I'm gonna post the tweet in the comment section or the description box once I'm done with this live. It basically said that there was a poll voting, who we should get rid of, who we should keep, who we should bring back, da 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 da, all of those things, right? And it basically said that we should keep Robin, Giselle, Karen, Mia, and get rid of Wendy, Candace, Ascala, bring back Monique, and keep away Sharice and Katie, right? I was triggered. I was triggered because I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And the person who posted the poll said the exact same thing I did. I was like, so Wait a minute. Y'all gonna vote to get rid of all of the dark-skinned women y'all don't like. Vote to bring back in the one dark-skinned woman y'all do like. Dark-skinned woman y'all do like. Wait a minute, sis. Wait a minute. This looks manipulative, mama. Because I don't listen. People who pay attention to the optics like that, people who pay attention to the optics like that, they are going to see that what they're doing here is voting to lightwash the show, right? And they're voting in to bring in Monique as an affirmative action play. That's what's happening. Like, what they want is to monopolize light skin on the show and then get rid of all the dark skinned girls that they disagree with, bring in the one dark skinned girl that they do agree with so they can say, I have a dark skinned friend, we're not colorist. No, bitch, I see you. I see you. Okay? Now, mind you, I'm not going to sit here and say that that is the intention of the people who created this poll, but that the results of that poll speak to the issue within the fandom that people keep talking about. Do you see what I'm saying? Sorry, Joanna. I've been meaning to get back to your comment, but I kind of got caught up in the moment. Baby Gorgeous woke up with the shit and I live for it. I'm not even a morning person, but this is my coffee for this AM. Thank you. I forgot who I was for a second. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me get to the shit. Because I had to wake up and realize I can get to the shit without talking about bullshit. Do you get me? I thought that in order for me to have an impactful conversation about the housewives, I had to be peace and love and zen. Like, I thought I had to be what Zen Wen thought she was trying to be this season, when instead I needed to be exactly what Zen Wen was this season. Zen Wen was aggressive as fuck. And we're going to talk about it. Because, listen, I have a problem that Zen Wen sat here and will always be the first person to shout colorism, but then doesn't have an answer on what to say when she's acting aggressive. I have an issue with that. Okay? I have an issue that she damn near jumped out of her seat when Andy was like, listen, what do you say about the colorism issue? And she damn near fell out her chair. But then when Andy asks her, what is another word for aggressive when a black woman is acting aggressive? She said nothing. And I had a problem with that. I had a problem with that because I was like, Wendy, this is what you do. You're the person that we're supposed to come to for these answers, and you said nothing? Say confrontational. Say that you're representing yourself in a way that's unbecoming of the way that you want to be seen on television. Break the fourth wall. Girl, don't be so scared to, like, listen, you ain't got to holler bravo, bravo, bravo. But what you can do is be like, you are presenting yourself in a way that is unbecoming of what you want to represent. Wendy, you do this on a daily basis. Why did you not have anything to say? But that is not my point. The point is that there are not many people stepping up and are willing to have this conversation. And I realized that in order for me to have this conversation, I got to bring the smoke. So guess what? Jordan the Giant is back. I've never said that out loud. This is something that I've had in my head. Jordan the Giant is really just a figment of my imagination that I want to drop in rap songs sometimes, but I just don't get in the studio like that anymore. But listen, girl, I had to wake my own self up. Basically what had to happen here on this channel, Justifiably Jordan, the rebrand, I had to step out of my Martin and step into my Malcolm. Okay? If you know, you know. Clock your references, children. This is a whole new day. Okay? And mind you, I'm not here to attack anybody. I'm not here to throw shade at anybody. I'm never going to speak directly negative about anybody. But what I am going to do is call out the bullshit that I see. Okay? And if the wig fits, glue it down. Period. At the end of the day, these are situations that have to be talked about, because I, as a Black woman, am not going to sit here and watch Black women represent themselves subconsciously in ways that I know is a crock of shit. I'm sorry. No, we're not doing that. I'm not going to sit here and justify us talking about how tacky Giselle's outfit is. I'm not going to sit here and justify why everybody on the show needs a Ladam wig. I'm not going to sit here and converse about 1 versus 3 wick candles and not talk about the fact that the optics of the show come off colorist. Whether that is anybody's intention or not, I do not know. But what I will say is that the perception is, and the way that it looks, is that there is a colorism issue. Y'all see the shit. Like, stop acting like I'm bullshitting. Okay? Like, seriously. When it comes to Dubai, stop saying that it's just entertainment. That is hypocritical as fuck. Because why would anybody bring up an opinion about having an issue with Renna or with Ramona not wanting race brought up on Housewives? How could you stand behind Ebony Williams? How could you stand behind Ebony K. Williams and then have an issue with somebody wanting modernized slavery and criminalizing the LGBT community on a television show? I am confused. If those two things are not parallel with each other, then somebody tell me where I need to go and redo my math. I thought social justice issues were social justice issues. I thought that human rights were human rights. Or was I just crazy? Did I just wake up with a different brain today? Did I just wake up with a different frontal cortex? Or am I just tripping? Because at the end of the day, these are the conversations that need to be had. And if I gotta come at y'all like this to get you to pay attention, then I'm the bitch with the smoke for it. Okay? The difference is Candace would be a different type of bitch if she had that type of energy for the shit that mattered. Okay? If she was able to articulate that at the end of the day, you hurt me because I am a musician. If she would have just came at her and been like, Mia, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit, then we wouldn't have had to have this whole salad tossing conversation, low blow mama drama. At the end of the day, that is the issue. She did not have to plague her mommy issues on Mia. All she had to do was stand up in her Erykah Badu and pull herself up by her wig strap and be a woman. That is what accountability is about. Okay? Since y'all got me talking about Potomac, then I'm gonna talk all my shit today, okay? It's fine. Listen, we're gonna talk about social issues. We're gonna talk about race issues. We're gonna talk about domestic issues. We're gonna talk about all of the friendship issues. We're gonna talk about code issues. We're gonna talk about all of that. But what I'm not willing to talk about is the shade and the bullshit and not show how it impacts the people watching the show. I think that is the issue. That is the issue. Is that we get so caught up talking in the drama and the bullshit and we never get to what it really leads to and what it's really about. Nobody wants to talk about the conversation that all of the shade and the drama and the kiki kaka kaka, all of that really leads to. It leads to light-skinned women getting praised for the same bullshit that dark-skinned women can do, and all of a sudden they're villains and they're this and they're that and they're too much and their mouth is horrible. Giselle, you ought to be a fucking ashamed of yourself. You really should. You should be ashamed of yourself that you want to sit here and talk about how horrible Candace's mouth is when you don't want to sit here and talk about your actions. You want to justify being shady but by doing all of that, but Candace's mouth is horrible. The shit that you have done to these women on this show is I'm sorry, y'all. I don't want to holler at y'all. Because it is like early in the morning and I don't want to holler at y'all. Hey, what's up, y'all? Let me go back and read some comments because I just got caught up in the moment and I really got like in the shit for a second. Hold on. I'll go back and catch all y'all up. Please make sure that y'all hit the like button, share this video, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so that you can know every time that I come on live to talk this type of shit and talk all the other type of shit that I talk. I am a varietized woman. I am a multifaceted queen, okay? Phenomenal woman. That is me. But, Joanna said, come on, Jordan the Giant. That's some rap shit. Like, that's really some rap shit. That's some shit that I just started spitting off in some rap lyrics when I was in jail. That's a whole nother story. If y'all want to talk about the time that I went to jail for 30 days, drop down in the comments and link the video and say you want the video. Anyway, yeah, Jordan the Giant was just some shit that I made up when I was sitting in jail, but that's a whole nother story. Kiki Wilson, talk your shit. Talk your shit. Period. Like, here's the thing. Sometimes I don't want to be the loudmouth. Sometimes I don't want to be the aggressor in the room, right? But sometimes you have to be quote unquote aggressive, confrontational, or complexionally unbecoming, if you will, to get a point across. As long as the message that you are delivering is substantial beyond reasonable doubt, then at some point, as long as you are not coming off directly like violent, like well, I am cussing a few of y'all out. I'm sorry. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure that I get my point together. I feel like at the end of the day, the message that I'm delivering is worth going there for. So if I have to come at y'all like this to get my point across, then I'm gonna come at y'all with all the smoke, all the shade, all the tea. We're gonna come with all the quips and the witty comments, and I'm gonna throw all the shade that I need to so that I can point y'all directly at what needs to be said. Okay? We're gonna go through all of that so that we can get here. Okay? I think I'm too talented to just sit here and walk away from conversations that directly need to be had when that's exactly what I'm building a channel on. I would be full of shit if I sat here and let somebody else take up my lane. I'm sorry. I'm the bitch that talks about social issues and talks about social justice and all of the uncomfortable conversations when nobody else wants to. That has always been my lane. Like, I don't know where I stepped off to for a second, bitch. I shaved my head and lost my mind. I don't know what is going on here. Girl, boo, hold on. Let me get back to these comments. Joanna said, this is a brand new day, ladies and gentlemen. A brand new day. Sister Act 2, get into it. Listen! Joanna, sing it with me, children. If you wanna be somebody, if you wanna go somewhere, you better wake up and... Listen, y'all know the rest. I can't sing and I'm not gonna do all that. But, girl, no ma'am. Yes, you are absolutely right, Joanna. This is a brand new fucking day. And I am not taking no more. And like I said before, I stand on everything that I said before. This has nothing to do with anybody else or anybody's channel, platform, nothing. This has nothing to do with that. In fact, that was actually a catalyst to this, and I'm going to use that as inspiration. That was positive for me. That just woke me to fuck up. Okay? You gotta bend, but you gotta make sure your ass don't break. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? This goes out to every motherfucker watching, everybody that's on this live, every person that's gonna jump in the replay crew. This goes to all y'all. This is a black mama talking to you right now. If you're not familiar with black mamas, then you need to go and watch Big Mama's House. You need to go and watch a whole bunch of 90s television, and you need to go and catch up. You need to go and watch Claire Huxtable wear all the children out down to the Cosby Show, okay? That's what you need to go and get a piece of. You need to go and watch D, go keep them kids in line down to the Moesha, okay? You go look up some black mamas, and then you come back and you understand what we're going through right now, okay? This is a black mama talking to you. Y'all need to... I can't tell y'all to not be afraid to stand in your truth if I'm not afraid to stand in mine. Uninhibitedly. If I'm not going to stand in my loud mouth and use it to benefit somebody else, then I may as well just shut the fuck up. Me walking away from talking about housewives was may as well be saying I should walk away from my whole channel, because that's where these conversations need to be had the most. That is where these conversations need to be had the most. I don't know what I was thinking about. Listen, a bitch is on hormones. I'm sorry. Like, I'm on hormones and I'm real emotional right now and I'm going through a lot. So the girl was feeling it. And I'm sorry that, I flipped out. She gives very like tomboy masculine. I'm the young and may of trans women. I get all of that, but a bitch gets emotional too. Okay? Sorry. I was in my feelings. But I'm out of my bag. The cat is out of her bag. Sorry. But I'm back with the bullshit. I've been going for a minute, but I'm back with the what? Jump off. Shane Shady. Enough with the superficiality. Let's have discussions of substance. Totally with you, Jordan. Thank you. That's really, I think when I started this channel and I said that I wanted to have a more empathic approach to YouTube, I think I was confusing the word empathic with soft. And sometimes empathy does not always come in a loving package. And sometimes you have to deliver tough love to people to get them to realize what you're trying to get them to see about themselves. Do you get what I'm saying? And that doesn't mean that you're bashing them. That doesn't mean that you are calling them out or questioning their character or calling them terrible people. But sometimes you have to bring attention, actions, words, implications, microaggressions, subconscious actions, things that people may not even notice that they're doing that are making them come off a certain way. Because I can talk all the shit that I want about Giselle all day. I like Giselle. I don't have no issue with Giselle. Do I think that she is more comfortable being shady because she has an issue being vulnerable? Absolutely. We saw that all through the last few episodes of Potomac, right? But that is the conversation that I want to have. Is why are you so comfortable being shady and not comfortable being vulnerable? Do you realize that you would have more strength and more people on your side as a person if you would lean into compassion versus conflict? Girl, grow up. This is why your daughter sit here and read the dog shit out of you. I like listen, and I'm also able to say like, girl, just because you a shady ass bitch to your friends does not mean that you are not a great fucking mom. Because the way that you are able to raise those girls to have the emotional intelligence that they have, and the way that you have created a safe space for those girls to talk to you like that, especially on national TV, girl, boo, the way that they are able to shade you with respect, girl, boo, that is quality parenting. That is top tier. That is what I want to have a conversation about. I want to talk about Giselle's parenting more than I want to talk about Giselle's culottes, personally. But if y'all with me, drop green hearts in the chat. If y'all with me, drop red triangles in the chat. Because red triangles came from us talking about Candace's triangles. So it's only right. Let's get back to the comments because y'all are rolling in. Kiki said, whether implicit, whether unconscious, it's still bias. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Like, I've said it before on this channel. Impact will always override intention. Always. It will always override. So you can sit here and do some shit shady as fuck to somebody and you think that you're saying something. Like, you can come here and say something to somebody and think that you're telling them with love and think that you're being a friend to them, and the way that you deliver that message can come off shady as fuck. If I'm not a person who's empathic enough to tell you, bitch, listen, I get what you're trying to say, but the way that you said it almost got you punched in the mouth. If y'all can't have that conversation, if you can't pull yourself out of your own perspective to stop yourself from only taking it a certain way and step up enough to deliver that back to somebody who you call your friend, y'all don't need to be friends. Okay? Joanna, period. Nora, tell it, Jordan. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. I got lost in the comments. Sorry. Okay. Paula, morning. Good morning, baby gorgeous. How are you, sweet pea? Joanna, once again, pass the collection plate. Listen, I'm not finna play with God like that because I don't want no smoke with the Lord. I really don't. But I did grow up in a black church, several black churches. So is there influence probably to what I got going on in this moment? Probably, right? But I'm not gonna play with the whole pastor reverend role, girl. I'm not gonna give all that because I still consider myself to be a member of Daystar Tabernacle down to the Georgia, and I don't want Skip Horton coming after me. Okay, so Ebony Dix. Additionally, if Candace had someone from the gay community on the show, she would have thought twice about the things that she said. I feel like if her makeup artist or whoever is like now mind you, I'm not gonna automatically say that everybody who is doing makeup in these communities is a gay man. But that was the assumption at some point. Like back in the early days of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, that really was the stereotype. Was all the black girls went and got the gay boys who knew how to really do it, who like really made the drag queens look like women, and they wanted to go and take it to a whole nother level. So they come and got the gay boys who really knew how to snatch a face and had them on their team, had the girls coming straight off the ballroom floor, styling the girls. Like, listen, I've been around a lot of things and I have a lot of stories. So I know a lot of things and we've watched it on the shows before, right? So, um, it's not uncommon to think that any woman on reality TV, especially a black woman, is not being done up by a gay man. So, if that is the fact, and she has these people around her, styling her, doing her hair, doing her makeup, installing her wigs, if these are the people that she has getting her done, shout out to Larry the Cable Guy getting her done. But if these are the people who are getting her done, then she needs to be having more conversations about what the bitches on the show are doing. And she needs to be having real conversations about, am I offending you as a homosexual man? Because her tweets definitely did come back to bite her in the ass. In the ass, girl. And you're basically employed by a gay man. And not only are you employed by a gay man, you are employed by a gay man with white privilege. Get your shit together, Candace. Wake up, mama. Wake up. You need to be aware. Pay attention. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because I don't necessarily like the way that you handle yourself on the show, but you are an amazing singer and your album is incredible. And I want you to get the most bang for that buck that E1 Nashville is spending to get you out there. I understand that you started the album spending your own money. I don't know how much E1 Nashville contributed to get the album completed and out there. I don't know if it's just a distribution deal and you came to them with a completed project. However, you signed to them because they were kicking out a check. So I need to make sure that you are giving them the most bang for their buck and you get the most out of the money that your ass spent as possible. I'm trying to make sure that you make the most out of that low budget as you can get. Do you hear me? Because it's not about the low budget. Candace's budget was low for the album. I'm sure that she did not have an unlimited amount of money to just throw at creating music, right? For whatever she spent, she created an amazing project. So this is not shade. But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, you want to make the most for your dollar. So from a marketing perspective, you are fucking up your own bag. This stepped out of the LGBTQ conversation, and now I'm trying to get into people's PR. Let's get on to these comments, girl. Giselle is playing self-serving games. Yes, she is. And that's why I thought that she was self-producing these moments with her kid, and that these moments on the reunion where like people are bringing up these like random things on the show and they're like reading her down at the reunion. I'm starting to think she's in cahoots. And I'm starting to think that she's just letting it happen because she knows that it's going to be good for her on the show and she's going to lead it right into her next storyline for next season. Giselle and Karen need a producer credit, but if you're gonna give them the credit, specifically Karen, I think Karen needs a producer credit because the moments that she produces on the show, like the ones with the invitations and the ones with the outside of the warehouse, I think those moments are more fun. They're more entertaining. They're less harmful, and I think that Karen would be the person who would actually step up to the responsibility of having the necessary conversations on Real Housewives. Those two need a credit. But do I think that they would give it to Giselle first? Yes, because she makes a messier show. But if they actually want to stand on sisterhood and uplifting women and doing all of that, they would give the producer credit to Karen. Just saying. Nora D says, talk about it. It is Jizzy's hypocrisy for me. Listen, it's the fact that I have so much fun calling her Jizz. Sorry. Sorry. No, but it is the hypocrisy for me. It is the hypocrisy for me. She is somebody who claims to love these women. She claims to love Candace one minute and then her mouth is horrible and she'll never defend her in the next minute. But then you're somebody who has done some unforgivable things to these women. Like if I was Karen, I would never forgive your ass either. Like you do some of the most low down shit because you just are evil in that way. Like you will sit here and do low down shit and then blame the person for you doing low down shit because you claim that they're not being a friend to you. Yet how do you expect somebody to be a friend to that? Grow up, sis. Linda George, do you have 2 channels now or did you change your name? I just changed my channel's name. So I went from Pouring with Jordan to Justifiably Jordan because it sounds easier and it doesn't sound like I'm saying the word porn, right? So the meaning of the name is still with the same intention of bringing to you guys the content that I'm bringing you guys all with good reason and the best of intentions and me really trying to make a positive impact on the community that I'm speaking to, right? So everything that I'm saying is justifiable because it is never going to be delivered with any malice, any ill intent, or any underhanded shade, right? Is there going to be jokes and shit? Absolutely, because I'm apparently a shady bitch. But at the end of the day, the whole point of me doing this is to get to a greater meaning and a greater purpose and a greater education of what we need to be getting from what the optics of this show is giving us. I'm never going to sit on here and say that somebody is racist. I'm never going to sit on here and say that somebody is colorist. I'm never going to sit on here and say that somebody is directly doing these things. But what I will sit here and say is based on the shit that you're giving us and the shit that we're seeing, because my viewers are going to tell me if they see it too. If they see the shit that I'm talking about, they're going to tell me. And if they don't see it, they're going to be like, girl, you tripping. Okay? And then they're going to tell me what they do see. So be prepared. But we all see it. So how do y'all not see it? And if y'all don't want to see it, well then, oh well. Because I'm not going nowhere. Enjoy it. So, but at the end of the day, I'm telling you all for good reason because I want everybody to be their most aware and their most culturally conscious selves. Because at the end of the day, there is no getting away from the differences in people's cultures. There's no getting away from the differences in the way that people were raised and the way that people were brought up. But what you should not be trying to get away from is trying to understand that so that you're not offensive. Because I think that I would hope that everybody would want to just learn a different way to interact than just stand in a joke that's only funny to you. Correct me if I'm wrong. I dare you. No, I'm joking. But seriously, correct me if I'm wrong. I would think that unless somebody is just blatantly ignorant and just blatantly racist or homophobic, transphobic, whatever, and they just don't want to be educated, that's one thing in itself. But I would think that somebody who is claiming not to be that person, if you're claiming not to be any of those things, I would think that you would want to learn a way to more palatably interact with the people who you're talking about or in retrospect making fun of, so that you won't be going around here making jokes that will almost get your ass whipped down to the beauty supply. That's all I'm saying. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I would figure that the joke isn't that funny to you that you wouldn't want to learn a better one that wouldn't get you jumped in front of Walmart. But tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know every damn thing. Honey, Missy Lane Strong, you are a true activist and loving you for it. I really appreciate that. I am scared to claim that word activist. I always say that I'm an advocate because I am. The textbook definition of advocate is someone who speaks out for the issues that they may or may not be oppressed by, right? So I will speak out for anything that I find as an issue, whether it categorically affects me or not, right? So I always define myself as an advocate, but it's hard for me to define myself as an advocate, as an activist, excuse me, because I'm not someone who is out there in the trenches really getting to the shit and really like stomping down doors. Did I march during Black Lives Matter and the whole protest movement that happened last year? I wish I would have gotten a chance to. Did I intend to? Yes, but I was on the road with my husband who was truck driving, so I was publicizing and covering all of the protests that were happening on my social media, right? So my intention was to. There was one in the town where I live, but me and my husband didn't get back off of the road in time for me to actually attend. But I publicized and shared the shit out of every protest within 100-mile radius of my area so that somebody I knew was there on my behalf. I was there in spirit. So I would call myself a social media activist because I was really doing the bulk of my pushing on social media because I felt that I could reach more people on social media than I could actually being in the streets. And on top of that, I also couldn't physically be in the streets because I was in an 18-wheeler truck, right? So I tried to do the most of what I could actually do and mobilize as much as I actually could from my phone because that is all I had to actually be a part of the movement. Now, in the uprising, if some shit were to pop off now, oh, I'm in these streets, baby. So call me if you need a big mouth for the protest. But I appreciate you seeing me as that. And that's really what I love about it. Um, Shane Shady said, "Don't read my Scooby Doo comment, Jordan. It was shady, light shade though." No, I saw it, but I didn't get a chance to actually read it because it was moving so fast. So I was gonna go back and read it in the replay, and then I was just gonna respond to it in the comments because that's what I do sometimes. Some of the comments that I didn't get to see but I want to respond to, or that I didn't get to read and pull up but I want to respond to, I'll go back and respond to them in the actual comment section of the post. So we'll talk about it later, baby. Um Shane Shady says again, well, came back and said, "Excuse me, you're passionate about what you're talking about, Jordan. There's energy there. No need to explain yourself." Well, I appreciate that, but it's hard for me to take the what's understood doesn't have to be explained thing when I'm on YouTube and when I'm live and I never know who's actually watching. Like, I feel like for the people who are going to discover this content who don't actually know who I am, I always feel like there's maybe somebody who is tuning into this right now, and this is the first time you've ever seen my face. Now, mind you, I don't necessarily know that. Who knows? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Maybe every single person that comes through here has seen me before and they know what type of shit I give up, right? Maybe everybody here knows just how I give it up. But I always want to be considerate of the people who are just tuning into me so that I really get to the crux of why I'm doing everything that I'm doing. Because I don't want to just, I'm 44 minutes into this live right now. And if somebody just tunes in and just hears me just ranting off about shit, going off about colorism and housewives and racism and modernized slavery, they're going to be like, what the fuck is going on here? What is actually happening? So I try to check myself in the moment to actually step back and really bring myself to an a safe for work tone so that I can make sure to break down all of the things that I really want you to hear from the video. And I don't want you to just take away the shade and the clips and the funniness. I want you to actually get the point of what I'm saying. So if I have to explain it 3 different times in 3 different ways throughout the same live, I'm going to do that to make sure that the point gets across to every single person that tunes in. Do you get what I'm saying? And then I'm going to invite everybody into the comments to have a discussion about it. Because if you didn't get it in the 3 ways that I explained it, come into the comments and ask me questions so that we can have a dialogue about it. Do you get what I'm saying? That's really what it's about for me. And you know, I hope that my demeanor doesn't necessarily run everybody off or scare people off and make me come off as aggressive or unapproachable, because I hope that anybody who watches my videos knows that while I am quote unquote passionate, I am with the shit for a cause. Like, I'm with the shits, don't get me wrong, but I'm with the shits for a cause. Like, I'm not actually this dramatic in person, or like I'm not this dramatic about, you know, the most random shit. I'm not an aggressive person if I'm not talking about the issues. Do you get me? So I hope that people understand that my passion is direct emphasis on the severity of the problem versus me just being an aggressive individual who you should be scared of. And I hope that all of the things that I'm saying implores people to look past my complexion and listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. Clock your references, children. Elaine Jordan. Sorry. Elaine, is it Strang or Strong? Strang. I don't have my glasses on. Mention it all, Jordan. Mention it all. Call out all that is wrong. I am with you. I appreciate it because I don't feel like anybody else is going to fucking do it. And I don't feel like anybody else is going to do it across the board. And that's the problem that I have. I feel like people are only... See, here's the problem. And while it's understandable, it's still a problem. Here's the issue. A lot of people are only willing to talk about and call out issues that directly affect them, right? That's why you only hear a lot of Black people calling out racism. But you won't hear Black men talking about misogyny most of the time. Or if you do, you hear you hear a limited quality of people. That's why the ratio is always off, right? That's why you won't hear a lot of Black women talking about male fragility and the male emotion, and why men are basically triggered out of showing their emotions and being vulnerable because of toxic masculinity. You don't hear that a lot of the time because those issues don't affect them. Just like you won't hear somebody in perfect health talking about cancer, unless they are empathetic enough to stretch outside of their own perspective and their own being and actually look at the issues as just issues instead of problems that don't affect them. Do you get me? There are a lot of things that I can't speak to. However, I am willing to recognize that they are issues and that I get passionate enough about anybody being oppressed, anybody having a problem, anybody being treated less than they should. Whether that issue applies to me or not, I'm going to do the research to try to figure out how I can address that issue as somebody who doesn't go through it. I feel like a lot of people get their tea from the second opinion. A lot of people will not listen to the people who are directly suffering from the issue because they feel like the plight is too close, that it's too close to home. Maybe a lot of people will listen to the plight of these issues when it doesn't have a damn thing to do with me. That's why I'm going to talk about colorism, even though I feel like I've never actually suffered through colorism. Does it make sense? Or am I just tripping? Y'all let me know in the comments. Ha ha ha, geez. Oh, love that song. Ah! I'm sorry. I'm really a bit of a clown. So, like, my mind is so, like, a wheel on a hamster, but yet it's a wheel on a hamster that is in the minority report. So it's also solving crimes at the same time, and it's doing a calculus problem in the black background, and it's also curing cancer. Like, my mind is all over the fucking place. Do you get me? Shady Shane. Shane Shady, excuse me. A brand new day is right. I could have skipped my coffee this morning. Thank you, Jordan. Thanks, babe. I really appreciate it. I really love you guys. Y'all are the sweetest because I appreciate that you guys take me in all of my rarity and all of my forms and in all of my craziness because I I wish that I could just come on here and speak like Mother Teresa about racism, colorism, social justice issues, and all of these other things, and just have this positive, free flowing conversation and play all of this soft music in the background and it just be a loving environment. But that ain't the fucking reality that we live in. Tough titty Miss Kitty. Shout out to Cat Black. Clock your references, children. But that's not the world that we live in. And sometimes you gotta come at a motherfucker at their throat to get them to hear what you're saying. Because all they're concerned about is the shit that is coming out of their mouth. So you have to cut off the airway so that their ears burst open. Do you get me? Sometimes you gotta clean a motherfucker ears out yourself so that they can hear everything, right? So that they don't only hear the shit that applies to them or the shit that they agree with. Sometimes you can't give it to them in a way that they can put syrup on it and just devour it like breakfast. Sometimes you gotta shove it in their mouth like goddamn cod liver oil or a fucking suppository. Sorry. But there isn't enough people willing to have this conversation. There isn't. And so somebody's got to do it. And if my crazy ass got to be the bitch to come up here and really run this shit, then I will. I'm just saying, because now I'm over it. Now it makes me sad. Like now it's depressing that we have gotten to this point and we've seen all of the improvements and growth and and movement that we have seen culturally, and yet we're still having the same petty issues. We're still having the same cultural negligence. We're still having the same emotional lack of vulnerability. We're still having the same lack of empathy. And I don't understand that. Let me get through a couple of these comments. I'm gonna drop the call-in link. So if anybody wants to come in and talk about anything that I've said, the call-in link will be available for you. But I'm gonna read through some more comments because I feel like I have a lot of them. Shane Shady. I've had lots of black mamas in my life, my very best friends. So you know what's up. Okay? So you know what's up. Um, oh sorry. I'll just read the comments and forget to bring them up. Sorry. Really ignorant. And they're my family. Kiki Wilson. Okay, because Claire Huxtable kept them kids in check. Know your history, know your role, and stay in your lane. Periana. Okay? If you ever want to get an epitome of one of the best stereotypical black mamas in history, Claire Huxtable is the one. Claire Huxtable is the one, honey. Do you hear me? Also, the mother from Family Matters, Jo Marie Payton, it's her name in real life. She plays Sugar Mama down to the Proud Family. But Jo Marie Payton, she was another one too. The original Aunt Viv, Janet Hubert. The original Aunt Viv was another one. Oh, baby. The original Aunt Viv was the one. Do you hear me? Period. Miss Ebony Dick said being a guest on a channel strengthen you for your channel. Yeah, I do think it is. I definitely do think that it did, because it allowed me to realize that I have the capability of standing in my own voice. If you've listened to my previous content, not just you, but I'm talking to all of you guys. If you've listened to my previous content, I have said that a lot of the time I have felt uncomfortable standing on my own or being a solo artist. That's why it took me so long to release solo music, or that's why it took me so long to do a solo channel or a solo podcast, because I didn't think that my voice would register in a solo platform, right? Especially because I have a stutter, I have a speech impediment, I'm loud. And so, like, I didn't think that my voice would be able to translate without somebody to bounce off of. Do you get me? So me stepping into stepping into the panel space or like calling into somebody's channel to give a reaction to what they're talking about, that was great preparation for me to do what I'm doing now, because it gave me the confidence and it gave me the moxie and the gusto to stand in my own voice and pull myself up by my own esophagus and say what the fuck I needed to say, regardless of who likes it or who didn't. Do you get me? I realize that there are going to be a lot of people who don't like what I'm going to be talking about when it comes to housewives. There are going to be a lot of people who don't like what I'm going to have to say when it comes to these shows, because I'm going to be talking about all of the things that nobody wants to talk about, like Ramona saying about that's why we don't have black people on this show. Yeah, we're, we're going to talk about that too. We're going to talk about all of that. Okay, because that makes me that raises questions in my mind. Have there been black people who have tested for the show before and Ramona has pitched a fucking fit and that's why they haven't been on the show? Have there been black people who have come around New York before that they have just bullied out? Like, what is the tea? Has Ramona pitched that she doesn't want black people on the show when she's heard rumors or whiffs that there's going to be a black person coming into the mix? We need to talk. That's all I'm saying. We need to talk. Shane Shady, you aren't flipping out. Your message is resonating and it's coming through. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Ebony, I think this too. I think that Giselle can be this messy in real life, because how does Robin deal with her, right? I honestly think that she is not this messy in real life, but that she produces these moments and that she is a production pet. That is exactly what she is, and that she does all of these things to the diminishment and to the degradation of her integrity as a woman, but it's all for show. And so I think that Robin is blinded by the veil of, girl, it's all for show. That ain't real. I'm just playing. It's not real. This is just for TV, blah, 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 blah. And I think that kind of carries Robin through the Stockholm syndrome that is being friends with Giselle, because she probably doesn't treat anybody like that in real life. But she knows that that's what's going to solidify her spot on this show forever. I feel like Giselle is probably trying to be the last standing OG, and she's probably going to drag Robin there with her ass so that she can always have a sidekick or an ally. But what does that say about the dynamics of friendship? And what does that say about how Giselle views Robin? What does that say about how Robin views herself if she's willing to put up with that shit? Those are all things that I want to have real conversations about. Do you get me? I'm just saying. Kiki Wilson, hearts and triangles. Thank you, baby. Nora D said, agreed. We can ish talk Giselle, but she is a great mother to her daughters. 100%. 100%. I can say everything I want about Giselle, her joining the Clark sisters, her being the last lady, her wearing culottes down to a professional setting. I can say anything I want about that. I can say anything about the way that she treats these girls. I can say anything about the horrible friend she is. She is a terrible friend, but she is a great mom. And at the end of the day, I guess I would rather you be a great mom than a terrible. I would rather you be a great mom and a terrible friend than a terrible mom and a great friend. So there's Giselle's passing to heaven, I guess. I don't know. Shane said Giselle's girls are good girls. You can see it. You can see they have a good foundation. Giselle is doing something right, but it's for others rather than herself, from what I'm seeing. Yeah, 100%. 100%. I think that at the end of the day, she knows what makes a good woman, but I also think that she knows what makes a good television show. So the shit that she does on TV, I'm sure that she categorizes to her children as her being the best that she can at her job and doing everything that she can to provide a life for her and her children in the best lifestyle possible, right? The shit that she pulls on TV justifies is justifiable because it provides the life that it provides for her children. So she's willing to go against her own integrity to provide this life for her children. Now, mind you, do I think she sees it this way? No. But do I also think that there's a different way that she could have gone about it and gotten the same result? Absolutely. But we're 6 seasons in, and I think that Giselle is set in her ways. I don't think that she's changing no time soon until her daughters call her out about the shit that she does to these women on the show. That is when she's going to start changing. Because her being emotionally unavailable, all the stuff that her daughters tell her to change, she's only going to change for those girls. She ain't changing for nobody else outside of that house. She is not changing. She is not changing or trying to grow for anybody but those 3 girls. And a part of that is commendable. However, you also want a group of friends. You also want to interact with people and have a positive reputation. So there's got to be some balance to that. Dahlia Rose Philly, I agree. One thing Black mamas preached was respect. 100%. And that's all it is. Like, at the end of the day, I am going to say what needs to be said. I am going to say it in the most respectful way possible. And I am not going to intentionally bash or criminalize or defame anybody. That is not what I'm here for. I am never going to tear anybody down. But what I am going to do is acknowledge the shit that you are doing to make you look a certain way. And as a Black mama, I want you to represent yourself better than that. As a Black mother, I want you to represent yourself better than that. And that's not just for the Real Housewives of Potomac. That's for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. That's for the Real Housewives of New Jersey. That's for the Real Housewives of New York. That's for the Real Housewives of OC, Beverly Hills, all y'all asses. Dubai. Giselle tried Karen while both of her parents were dying. Raven needs to drag her at this point. Listen. I would like to see. That is the sit down that I want to see. I want to see Karen's daughter. I want to see Raven sit down with Giselle. That was the sit down that needed to happen, not with Jen and Brooks Marks. That was not the sit down that needed to happen. Mind you, I'm glad it did, but the conversation that ensued because of that did not give what I wanted it to give. There was not a more impactful conversation that came out of that. I wish that Brooks Marks would have used that opportunity to really have a real impactful conversation about the community and about himself and about the treatment of others. But it just seemed like he was just too willing to just get over it. And he was just, anyway, that was the conversation that I needed to see. That's what I need to see. I need to see Raven talking about the shit that she said about Ray, the shit that she said about Karen, the way that Giselle treated Karen while she was grieving her parents. I need to hear Raven talk to Giselle. That's the cast member, child of a cast member sit down that I want to see. Am I by myself on that? Nor D. I'm gonna need you to bring your presence back to Messy Topics and keep bringing your viewpoints not only on there but all platforms. We need voices like yours, please and thanks you. If they want me back, I will come back. Not to say that they've asked me to leave or anything. It's not anything like that. I just felt like maybe I needed to take a step back so that they can have new voices on there for you guys to listen to over there. With the whole Real Housewives of Dubai debacle and all of that, I just felt like maybe the way that I'm articulating my point of view was not something that was registering clearly with the people over there, right? And so I didn't want to engage in any type of negative activity on anybody else's channel. I I have said that from the very beginning. I never want to negatively impact anybody's channel or bring any type of strife or issue to anybody's page. I want everybody to thrive and grow. And if I can contribute to that greatness, I would love to provide my impact. However, I just felt like there was a couple times where me providing my energy on the show came off as confrontational or not as pleasant as I felt it should be. So I felt like maybe I need to step back and reassess. Plus, I wanted to provide a space in the backstage for other people to call in, right? I read the comments just like everybody else, right? I've seen people asking for new people. I've seen people say that they are tired of me being on the panel. I have seen people say that they want new people on the panel. I have seen people say that they are tired of me being brought up on hot, messy topics all of the time. So I am going to make sure that I please as many people in that audience as possible because I want Adam's channel to continue to grow and hot, messy topics to continue to be a great thing. Do you get me? So if that means me stepping back and me not having my face over there just so that they can continue to have amazing numbers, then that is okay. That is what I created a fucking channel for. It's all love. It's no shade. There's no negativity. There's no BS. At the end of the day, it is all love. I just want everybody to have the best possible show that they can have. 100%. Who done popped up in my damn room? Ah! Hey, girl.
Good morning. It's
Good
me.
morning, my love. How are you, sweet pea?
Good. Like I woke up early and I'm a night owl by nature. I'm not an early bird. I was like,
Same.
why am I up? Like what? And then
Well, I have a
my
7-year-old that I have
notification
to get to
popped
school in the
in.
morning, so that's why I'm up.
I was like, yeah, this is, and that was my life for a bit. I got a 14-year-old. She'll
Ooh.
be
Well,
15
you
in
almost through there.
January. And she started her long story short, her dad got a fantastic job offer in the big city, and she was like, I'm tired of this small town life. Can I go over there? And I was like, baby, bye. Absolutely. Am I going to miss
Yes.
you? Yes. But do I want opportunities for you that are bigger than what Northeast Arkansas can give you? Absolutely. You've been in every sport, every dance team, cheerleading, everything else. Baby, yes. Go down there to that nice little private school where your daddy had and learn how to play the violin instead of being limited to playing the clarinet.
Get some culture, be
Expand
well
your
rounded,
horizons.
go and learn about other things besides what you
Exactly.
grew up in. Go and expand, girl. Yes, honey, you did the right thing.
So yeah, at this
Hallelujah.
point, I get to sleep in late, but got up early this morning. I was like, well, since I'm up anyway. And then I got the notification. I said, what this girl talking about on this good morning? And hopped in. I was like, yes, this is the conversation that I knew was gonna happen. And I've been waiting for it. And I live for it. And all the shit I really part of why I called in was because I read through one of my comments. And I saw that I said Robin and then Robin when I meant Robin and then somebody else. I was like, let me call because I know he gonna get to that comment. She's gonna get to that comment in a minute, and he gonna be like,
Actually, either one is fine, but we'll talk about that in a whole nother live. Don't fret.
okay, cool.
Yes, sorry. Harriet and Estelle Winslow from Family Matters. I could not remember their names. Sorry. But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, babe.
Oh no, you good. Continue to read the comments and continue on your spiel. I live for it. All this is the conversation that definitely needs to be had. One of them, especially in regards to reality TV too, but especially with these housewives, with hearing that Ramona was like, this is why we don't have black people on the show. Bitch,
Mm-hmm.
like that
Right.
was literally the reason I stopped watching New York. I was like, all right, it's
My
cool that
initial
we
black
have
woman reaction was, bitch, who the fuck? Girl, hold on. But then I had to
exactly.
step back and I had to be a grown ass woman and I had to step into my Maya Angelou real quick. And I had to be like, girl, this is a moment where we need to educate. And I had to step into my Ebony K. Williams because that
Yes,
woman handled that with so much. This is the type of shit that you bring up on the reunion. Like, Garcelle did it and she should have brought it up earlier in the season, but you brought it up and you didn't want to actually do anything about it. I feel like Ebony would have brought that up on the reunion and she filed a complaint. Like, this is what I mean by Nene burning down the entire building at Bravo, but not really having any game plan. Whereas Mariah Huck talked her little shit, but then she filed papers in the court. Do you get me?
Exactly.
That is what I'm talking about.
Right. And even with the reunion, baby, there's no way they picked a good one in Garcelle. Because I could
Ooh.
have never been on Beverly Hills Housewives and had
I'm
Dorit
just glad they
say,
didn't
"I'm
pick
speaking
Cherie.
Garcelle." I would have jumped over that table and
Her
her
friend
ass would have been
Cherie
flung all
Zampino,
up and
Will Smith's first
through.
wife. You remember her from Hollywood Exes?
Yes,
Oh, baby, they better not put Cherie on there because Cherie would have wore them girls out.
would
Not
have.
physically, but like she would have been a lot less diplomatic and, dignified about it as Garcelle was. I hope that they allow Garcelle to bring her on more. I
Yes,
hope that they allow her to bring her on as a friend of the show at some point.
that'll be amazing. That will be
I
amazing.
want
Because,
her
baby,
energy so
yes.
bad. Because Cherie Zampino, I love Whoop Ash, first of all. And then second of all, I just want, because she's the type of person, she brings my type of energy. She'll bring that to Housewives. And they'll never let my ass on Housewives because I'm a little less composed. But Cherie is the type of person, she will deliver my point in my type of inflection, but she'll do it in a way that sounds college educated. I sound like I'm busting straight out the projects. And it's cool. I don't mind being straight out of Compton. But what they will hire is somebody who sounds like they are with the shit with a college degree. So let them she will give that Wendy Osefo vibe, is really what I'm trying to say.
That's what I live for. And that's me. It's like, yeah, I can be, Joanna with the masters in business and Joanna this won 2 elections. But baby, I can also be JoJo from the north side of Cedar Street, which I don't know what energy you want. If you gonna scream at me, Doritos, cool. I'm gonna let you have it. Like I could have never. I Garcelle is an angel. Garcelle reminds me of my mama because there's been so many times where people have tried her, and she's been like, you know what? I see you having a moment right now. I'm just gonna pray for you when I go to Sunday school tomorrow, and I'm gonna leave you there. Me? Baby, no. Doree would have been drugged all up and through Kathy's backyard.
Every time I see you, I am dragging the dog shit out of you.
On
Every time
site.
I see you, I'm snatching another pearl right off your dress.
Period. This is
Period.
gonna be Ren and Stimpy energy. This is gonna be Tom and Jerry energy. This is gonna be Peter and the chicken energy. Cause I know what you
It's
could
it's
have ever thought.
very Peter and the chicken energy, baby. Because how is it that you can sit here and say that you're a friend, but you are compounding issues that have nothing to do with the situation to try to make me look bad to prove your point? You knew that Garcelle was not around for that conversation about Erica saying not to bring that up on the show. So for you to bring that up as a way to prove your point of saying that she's being a bully, you're
Right.
full of shit for that. And I would have drugged you every time I saw you. You a shady bitch. Fuck you being long-winded. You are a shady ass bitch. And I'm telling you every time I see you.
Exactly. And they are so gentle with Erica, baby. Every time you had anything to say, oh, I couldn't hear you. I was too busy thinking about all the way these victims are suffering while you carry around your Birkins. Bitch, you said what? Oh, my bad. I was just thinking about the fact that Mr. Rudy Gomez ain't got a car and you flying around in private jets. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that. Like everything will go
Sorry,
back
I
to
was too
bitch,
busy
you a
buying a
crook.
$40,000 Rolex and having it FedEx to a dinner that I'm having in Italy. Sorry. Like, girl,
Exactly.
shut
Like,
up.
baby,
Shut
no.
up.
Everything would go back to you a crook, you a liar, the truth ain't in you. You ain't shit. Your husband ain't shit. You go, oh, well, he has dementia. Has he has dementia
You know
for the
what it
last
gives me?
3 decades? Because he been doing this shit for over 30 years. So what's
You know
up?
what it gives me? Have you ever watched the Atlanta version of R&B Divas?
I did. It was. I don't remember it much, but I did. Yeah.
There was something that Selena Johnson said to Nikki Gilbert on the first season of R&B Divas. I think it was the first season or the second season. I can't remember, but it was so funny. She was like, What you have done to these ladies is a sin. You have sown drama and discourse, and there is a
Yeah, I remember
special
that.
place in hell for a bitch like you. Girl, that
Yes.
hit me in such a way because you could see that she was so like you could see everything that Selena was talking about was shit that was being done off camera, shit that was being done on camera, and she was just being a malicious ass person and she was tired of it. Like, that is the type of shit that I love. Somebody who is willing to call out somebody who is specifically contradicting the point of why we're here. We are here to build a friend group, and you are here to stir shit. Why are you here?
Right. Exactly.
Like, you are ruining the point of bringing positive images to reality television. Why are you here if you're going to constantly engage in negative imagery? What is the point? To that point, Dahlia Rose Philly said, Garcelle seems to be over it. She has had to prove herself way too long. I relate to that because that is kind of what I went through, right? When I said at first that I was never talking about Real Housewives again, I really over dramatized the internalization of what I was feeling at the time, right? I thought that because a few people did not want to engage with my opinion on the Real Housewives of Dubai, I thought that nobody wanted to hear me actually have those types of conversations, right? Because I felt like the toxicity of the fan base was going to bring negativity to my channel and override the intention that I was trying to give to the show in the first place, right? This is when I was trying to be Martin. I was trying to be Martin. I tried my best to sit my ass at the front of the damn, like, I tried to just sit my ass on the bus peacefully and mind my business, right? But then a little Rosa Parks stirred up around these hormones and in these nipples and in my bloodstream. And the Rosa in me went to a Malcolm X meeting. And I got real aggressive when I woke up today. And seeing that shit on Twitter pissed me off so bad. And I was like, this is exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. In fact, this is exactly what the fuck I need to be talking about. I'm going live right now.
Correct. Like that's one of the things that I've said around social justice issues since I became an advocate, activist, whichever name you want to put to it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is my mama's generation, my uncle's generation. They were more, yeah, nonviolent. Martin, we're gonna sit here and let you be embarrassed, but you can't attack people in a sense of I'm gonna let the world see your conscience when nobody seems to have a fucking conscience. Okay, that didn't work. We are a generation of of Malcolms, not Martins. I'm not a turn the other cheek type of bitch. Uh-uh. You hit me once, I'm gonna clock you and show you why that was a bad idea and make you understand deep down in your shunda that you never gonna do that shit again.
It's very that. Like, I tweeted something the other day when I was like, it may have been me tweeting, or I could have just been having this conversation with somebody. And I was like, I have been turning the other cheek when I should have been swinging the other fist.
That's a mood. A mood.
Speaking of a mood, Dahlia Rose Philly is really a mood for me because she commented and was like, I live for Jordan. And I love when somebody say that they live for somebody. That just automatically makes you a vibe to me. But she was like, where are you from? I was born in North Carolina. I'm from North Carolina, but I was raised in Georgia from like 3 to about 12. Then I lived in Las Vegas for a year, but I've been back and forth from Fayetteville, North Carolina to Atlanta, well, Douglasville, Georgia, for my entire life. So I really just say that I'm from North Cat. Uh, Shane Shady, I would have gone off if someone screeched at me the way that Dorit did. Garcelle has restraint and control of herself. Respect, absolutely, because girl, she let it out. She let it out just enough to shake the table. Like when she hit it with the "fuck you for that," no, fuck you for that. Like The way she hit her with it, like she was like, "Oh, hold on, bitch.
Oops.
You ain't finna drag me down to the gutter with you, honey. Let me gather me and my pearls that are still attached and leave. Because you will not drag me to the gutter with you, honey. I will not do it." Hello, Joanna.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, girl, shit. You scared me. My bad, girl. It's the silence for me, girl. I be thinking my stuff is freezing. I ain't at the house around no Wi-Fi, child. I'm at the park down to the woods and stuff. Child, I'm praying on this good Verizon service. Girl, you better answer me. I almost reloaded the whole page. Uh, Scared me half to death. My bad. Hey, girl. Nakai is a fool. She said, not Peter and the chicken, though.
Yes, that energy. Every single time.
And
Every
that's what I
time with
thought.
multiples of them.
That's what I thought Garcelle was gonna give her towards the end of that dinner when she was sitting back there, sitting back in the seat, like real reared back, and she was like, "I heard you. It will be different." Mm-hmm. I thought she was gonna start stinging her every time she saw her. She was gonna look her dead in your face and be like, "Dorit, you are talking too much. Is this direct enough for you?" I thought she was gonna get her together every time she saw her from then on.
It's the hypocrisy of all of it. It's so much. And it's so blatant. It's like I can't possibly be the only one that's seeing this shit at this point. Cause like I said, that's why I stopped originally watching Real Housewives. I was like, all right, it's cool that we have black franchises. It's cool that we got Potomac. It's cool that we got Atlanta, but America is not that Caucasian. You mean to
Mm-hmm.
tell me you can't find not now black housewife in New York that's gonna be good TV?
Y'all already
Not a
tried that shit
one.
on Sex in the City. Now you gonna come to a reality show with that bullshit? Come on now, don't play with me.
Like reality. Yes, we know it's scripted at this point, it's produced at this point, but can we have some kind of reality in the reality TV? And they got
Allegedly
Ebony.
scripted.
I was like,
Heavily produced, but
bet.
allegedly scripted.
I was like, cool. Let's see how this is gonna go. And Ebony gave exactly what I needed her to give. And then here comes Brashawn.
The icon that is Ebony K. Williams.
I just want to see everybody. Why do we have to keep dividing? I just want to see everybody together. Color doesn't matter. Bitch, you are
Girl,
a
you just don't want
dark
to alienate
skinned.
yourself from these white women so you can be brought back.
Exactly. Like, baby, Ebony
That
is
was some real, like, and I'm not going to say that this is her character, but the way that she displayed herself on that show gave me real Chicken George. Like, it was very shucking and jiving. It was very minstrel, pick me, Negro shit. Like, it was very aggravating for me to watch her portray herself that way. Because I was like, girl, this can't be this can't be you. This can't be. I refuse to believe that. Are there people out there like that? Absolutely. But I would just hope that you would not come on a television show where there have been no black women ever displayed and act like that. I would
like,
hope.
if she was my auntie, she was my cousin, I would have been like, what the fuck are you doing? Because that is not it. Like, gives me real, whatever Samuel
Like you
Jackson's
giving coon
character
vibes,
was in
mama.
Django.
That's not okay. Not
That,
even coon, but I ain't gonna go that deep with it. But like you were just really giving like pick me vibes. That's really what it is. It's less coon vibes, more pick me vibes. And it was just like you just want to be seen. But you're ignoring blatant issues that you should be talking about. Just as Shane Shady just said, the reality needs to be representative.
exactly.
As
Shane
Shane
makes
Shady
hella good
also just
points.
said, not a fan. She was counterproductive going against Ebony. Exactly.
Very.
You're showing the whole crabs in a bucket, black people don't get along, we can't come together mentality. You're showing divisiveness. Why? And she's
Right.
technically sticking up for your ass too.
Exactly. And for Ramona, for what? Like, it would be different if it was a thing of yes, I really do know this person, and they may come off that way, but they really aren't that way. No, these folks real deal racist as fuck,
If
and
Ebony
we've
was not
seen
on
it.
that show calling that bullshit out, I guarantee you by the end of the season, Ramona would have tried to offer Bashan a job.
I'm sure.
I guarantee it. She would have tried to hire that girl. Like, she would have tried to turn that bitch into Sweetie. Clock your references, children.
Facts. That's another like I said, there's been so many. Just like when Kim Zolciak on in that little bathroom scene after that last reunion she was on was like, what other white woman would sit here and do this with all of these black women? Bitch,
Do
no, if
what?
it wasn't for all of these black women, no one would know who the fuck you are with your bloated
If
lips,
it wasn't
your
for all these
terrible
black
skin, and
women,
your
you wouldn't have got your
awful
ass on the
wig.
show in the first place. Bitch, a black woman gave you your seat at the table to talk this shit in the first place. She
Did.
should
And
have
when
came into
Nene was
season
like,
10
well, what
humble and
did you
grateful.
do to get your own show? It was like, be white.
Be white. Wake up and be Caucasian. Be
That's
blonde.
it. Literally, that's it.
Portray yourself as the victim.
That's it. And it's that too. It's why? Always, every time. Dorit can scream, Erica can scream and threaten and get in folks' face, and but Garcelle's the bully though.
But Garcelle's the
Seriously.
bully and she's never raised her voice to you.
Wendy can sit there and have a perfectly calm conversation with Robin. And why are you so aggressive? Baby, that's not
Leah can sit
aggressive.
here and throw food, call y'all hoes, call y'all out y'all names, call y'all bitches, scream and run through your house like a bat out of hell. But Ebony raises her voice an octave and she's angry.
And that was what really pissed Luann off. It's like the audacity of you,
To
N
challenge
word,
me.
that she can't call her, but I'm sure that's what she wanted to say. Come in here and say that you're better than me? Because that's what she heard when Ebony
That's what
was
she
like, I'm the
heard was,
most educated
don't
one
come in my
here.
house and tell me I don't have an education. Well, bitch, nobody said that. In fact, nobody brought up education until you did. But then you want to sit here and backpedal on that and say that it was not about that. You're classist, you're elitist, and you
Exactly.
told on yourself.
That's not the only kind of education. Okay, so Ebony isn't cultured as well? Because you got a Rosetta
Thank you.
Stone and you lightly speak a few languages. Girl, sit your ass down. Sit down and be
And to
quiet
think
and
that
learn
if you were
something.
so see, I said the exact same thing about Dorit. I was like, so if you're so cultured and you're so a student of the world and you know so much about different cultures and being aware, are you only aware and a student of cultures that are Caucasian looking? Because it seemed like you had no perception of how to comprehend the conversation of black people in America. Like, are you like were you a student of Africa? I'm confused because it seems like you were only a student of cultures that looked like you.
Which is the real gag because, baby, your actual heritage, you Hispanic and you Middle Eastern, but you want to be Caucasian so fucking bad. What are your parents thinking of you when they see you having these conversations like this? What are you teaching your children who are multicultural, but you ain't really brought that up for real about the way that they need to relate to people of color at this point? Because they are that. Have you taught them that? Do they know
Why
all of
have you
their
not
heritage
stepped
or do they
outside of
just know
yourself
the
to think about
Anglo-Saxon
why
part?
is it say what now? I'm sorry.
It's like, has she told them that? Do they know all of the heritages that they have and all the cultures that are in their bloodstream? Or have you just exposed them to the Anglo-Saxon part of that?
No, because she's too busy introducing her children to the people of color that work for her. But I do want to bring up another opinion that just jumped in the room. Mama, I am not about to butcher your name, so I'm about to come up here and let you tell me how to pronounce your name. Hey, sugar. Hey, love. I did. Alrighty. What were you saying, boo? I'm sorry.
Oh, that was it. Doritos a fraud.
Not Dorita's a fraud, girl.
At the end of the day.
Um, you so silly. Shane Shady said, my favorite line from Garcelle this season, good for you. When Dorit said she spoke multiple languages, that was the vibe. That was such a vibe. Like, I'm such a student of the world. I speak multiple languages. Good for you. Because you're still culturally unaware of the cultures that are sitting in the room with you.
Right.
What good is it that you can speak Portuguese, but you can't even understand Black people that are in your own house? Confused.
Literally. And all the when
Confused.
they were at the dinner with Lisa Rinna talking about I don't really do fish like that, but you sat here and ate a whole half of a caviar pie, bitch. Caviar is the fishiest fish that you could ever put in your mouth. It gives all fishy.
It's all
But you
fish. It's
couldn't
all
eat a
fish
little
eggs. Like,
fish
it's
at
literally
Garcelle
fish. It's
House?
fish
Like,
DNA.
exactly. Like,
Like, I'm
stop.
confused.
Just say I don't really like black people like that, but I know that's not good to say right now, so I'm gonna make up another excuse for it. We still see you. We still know
Or
exactly
at
what that
least just
actually
be honest
is.
and say that I am not culturally experienced with Black people. I have not been around a lot of Black people. I don't have a lot of Black friends. I'm not saying that that is intentional or that I have not wanted Black friends, but the environments that I have grown up in have not have not allotted me to have a plethora of cultures to interact with. That is not your fault.
And we would appreciate that. The
We
honesty.
would
Stop
respect you
hiding
for
the
that. I
shit.
would commend you for saying that.
Right.
But instead, you want to lean to, we've had brown people work for us before. Why was that the only thing that you were able to think of? If you have people in your actual life who were of different cultures and complexions, why were the people who you've employed the first people that you thought of?
Exactly.
That is an issue for me.
Couldn't even skip to I got a black friend. I got a black
You could
maid.
even skip to a Black friend. You skip to I hired a Black person before.
Exactly. It's terrible. And not to let
Yikes.
Erica, if this were Real Housewives of Atlanta, if this were Real Housewives of Potomac, oops, both of those are black. They're gonna get what I'm actually saying. If this was Real Housewives of New York,
Oops.
baby, Ebony would have drugged the fuck out of you. Portia would have literally grabbed you by
Drug
the
the fuck
tracks.
out of you.
Nene would have got in your
She
face
would
and
have
snapped
snatched
on you.
$40,000 right out of your damn face.
Monique, baby, you would have been drugged all
She
up
had
and
a
through
tab for
Kathy's
your ass
backyard
too,
as
trust me.
well. Karen would have snapped on you. Candace would have snapped on you. Wendy would have expertly, with 4 degrees, snapped on you. But you could have never thought that you would have been on those shows in those cities screaming at folks the way you were. You did what you did because you were where you were.
And you knew that you would be able to get away with it. You knew Sutton was not going to stand up to you like that. I guarantee you, you see catch the difference. Catch the difference, right? Sutton calls Garcelle a liar. She screams in her face and threatens to sue her. Garcelle will share Erica's private business that she didn't want her to share, but she handles her with the most kid gloves and starts crying. She says, well, I actually do mind you saying it because I feel like you're betraying my friendship right now. She made sure to articulate them motherfucking words. She made sure that she didn't slide a cuss word not out of them syllables.
Exactly. Because she know better, baby.
You
You
made
know
sure that you
better in
came to
real life.
Garcelle correct.
You know better in real life. So let's cut the shit.
Girl, bye. I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for it. I don't see that house. The only reason that I see my house, Pendavis, clock your references, children. Anyway, child, listen, that's really all I had to say for real. What time is it? It's 11:35. Oh shit, my bad. Sorry about that. My bad. Um, I was checking the time and I pulled down the wrong thing and it knocked me out. Damn iPhone. But it is 11:35. I have to get ready for Peppa LaBeja's birthday party. But I want to thank you so much for calling in and shooting the shit with me again.
Of course. Is that still gonna be at noon?
I mean, I'm just, huh?
Is that still gonna be at noon?
Yeah, that's still gonna be at the same
Okay, cool.
time. Same time. Time isn't changing. So I'm about to go home, grab a quick bite to eat. Then I'm about to hop right back on live for that. And so I'll be back at noon for that, noon Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so I'll be back for that. And I just wanted to thank everybody for calling in. Thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you for being here. Um,
Thank you for being you. You started off my Friday with a bang, and I live for it.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm glad I could be here. I'm just glad y'all allow me to be here and like y'all are putting up with, with my all over antics.
And is,
So
and will, and do.
I appreciate you. I figured it out. The girl has woken up, honey. She's had the epiphany. She's gone through the things. She's gotten in her bag. She's felt her feelings. And now she's back to her bullshit. So, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, Shane Shady. Love you so much. But I'm about
Shane
to
is a
hop off of
vibe.
here. Huh?
Shane is a vibe.
Oh, Shane is a whole mood. Shane is a mood. Oh my god, I love Shane so much. But thank you guys so much. I will see you guys in just a few minutes. I'm getting ready to go. I'll see you guys in about 20-25 minutes. And we'll be back for Pepper LaBeja's birthday. It is her 73rd birthday, and we're just gonna celebrate her life, talk about the icon. We're gonna talk about who she was and who she is, and then we're gonna recap Paris is Burning. So hopefully you guys did your homework. Hopefully you guys clocked your references, children, because we're gonna have a good time. So I'll see y'all in just a little bit, okay? All right, bye. See you later, Joanna. Thank you so much. I love you to bits. Um, Shane, you're a mood. Thank you. And and Nakaya, last comment of the day. Thank you. That's your audience. We're all over the place. I appreciate that. Thank y'all for being all over the place with me. I love you guys so much. I hope that the analysis that I gave for all things Real Housewives, conversations that nobody's gonna have but me, was impactful and entertaining for you guys. And I hope that I justified why you should tune back in and listen to me talk my shit. Cause I'm not going anywhere. So with that being said, make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all of the YouTubey things, hit the notification bell, all of the things of the things. I'll be back in a few minutes to celebrate Pepper LaBeja's birthday. And I love you all. Bye, baby gorgeous.